This is part 2 on how to get started with HO stock car racing. So I have an example with this Auto World 2-lane set called Outback Overdrive. I found this on Facebook Marketplace locally. It wasn't very expensive because the guy that purchased it, he just wanted the trucks that were in it. So I guess it was the only way to buy the trucks. And we've also found a new home for this adjustable voltage power supply. But, you know, it's a nice little set. I use it as one like it as an example. You can actually set the track up in a couple different layouts they suggest. But I recommend buying some extra pieces of track. Now this truck set's interesting because it comes with this reddish brown track. Usually the track is black, but I recommend buying some additional straight track sections. That's really what it's all about in learning to drive. At first, it's learning to go full throttle down the straight and brake for the first corner. That's really what you need everyone to learn with beginners. So I just had it set up as a simple oval. And now today I've just modified it a little bit and I've added the rest of the corners to it, but I've taken out these squeeze track sections. I've never liked them, but you could incorporate them. What I would probably do is like put one here and that'll push the track this way. Maybe the other one here. And then if you've bought the pack with 2 straights, there's actually, I don't have it out, it's still in the box. There's another 3-inch straight track that we could add. So the squeeze sections would add 18, and then we could add 18, and we'd still maintain our one long straight. And another piece of straight track would really add a little bit more fun. But, you know, really haven't done anything special other than hook it up. And you know, it seems to work pretty well. Now, there were some sections that when I joined them together, these little tabs, this little tab here would stick up a little bit. So I just had to make sure the tracks were snug together, and there was one I just had to make sure that was sort of popped down. I actually heard it go click. So I'm sure everyone else will run into similar problems and wonder why their car is getting bounced out. But you know, this is a lot of fun for, you know, I would think $160 or less, and you know, everything works. Now, I was saying once you get to this point, you can learn how to drive, you can learn how to race, and that's all a lot of fun. And what everyone wants to do is they want to make the cars faster. So the one thing I recommended was to buy additional Auto World cars. And you want to stick with the brand of cars as the track that you bought. There's no industry standard for power and control. So you can get into some little aggravating sort of, you just don't have good enough control to drive well. But I recommend that these Auto World 4-gear chassis, they just run nice. They seem a little bit quicker than the set. So if you had 2 of these, you would basically have 2 pairs of cars that you could run together that would be, you know, slightly different, feel different. One would be faster than or slower than the other group. So it's just, you know, a little different you can do. And like I say, you can have a ton of fun with this. And but most people, they want to make the cars faster. And I said that's sort of an interesting point, because when you start to make that jump to, you know, faster and faster cars, one, you need a bigger track, but two, it's also the part where you're going from sort of a high quality toy into hobby quality items. And the best example is everyone wants to make their car faster, but they also want to upgrade their controls or control of the car. And these Parma controllers have been around, geez, at least 40 years. I don't know how long I've had this one, but I know I've had some of these for 30 years. So they're very well made. They have a metal frame in them. It's just that they're $40. So you've got, say, $160 in the set, you're racing, and for upgraded controllers, you're talking another 50%. And it might be worth it to you. And these controllers are great. There is an alternative though, and I use the alternative sometimes. And it's these old Aurora controllers. These are all 50 years old. They haven't made them for 50 years. It's sort of like a stripped down version of those Parma controllers. Trigger controller, it's very lightly made. These are pretty robust, but if you want to try them, I'll warn you, they are 50 years old. Sometimes the electrical portions are burnt out, sometimes they're broken, but when they're working properly, they're very nice. So the yellow ones are 45 ohm, and those will work really good with the Auto World cars. So nice and slow with them, nice mid-speed control. Then the 4-gear car, like I say, seems a little quicker. And then the last item I'll mention is silicone tires. And a lot of people call them slip-on silicone tires. And I don't have any for the 4-gear cars. Really doesn't seem to need them. And you take the tires that come on and you just peel them off, and we slip these on. Now, most of the silicone tires have a little bit smaller diameter, and you got to make sure it's doesn't lower the car too much where it scrapes. But with this silver traction magnet, it lowers it to the rails. So not only are you putting a little bit stickier tires with a little more traction, you're also lowering the car just a tick, and you get a little bit more magnetron. And these silicone tires are typically $3 to $5 each. So you could consider upgrading your controllers with these. Maybe some silicone tires if you want to make the cars just a little bit better. It'll be noticeably better. And I know everyone is going to want to buy more cars. And again, for the first cars you buy, stick to the same brand of track that you have. And like I said, the reason is there's no standardized power and control. So when you start going into older cars or other brands, you may or may not have an issue. And there's just a lot of confusion about that. And you know, if you go on the internet, there's a lot of conflicting suggestions for that. So at this stage, I think we just stick with Auto World. It's a good company. They make good products. I know people talk about that they get a car and they have a quality problem with it. That's why you want Auto World or AFX products, is because they have, they're a legitimate company and they have good customer service. So you need to contact them first if you think you have a problem. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps someone have a lot of fun, and also get a real good feel for racing slot cars without spending a lot of money, without wasting a lot of money. And like I say, one of the things about it, if you try it, everything works fine, and it's not just for you. Well, something like this, it is resellable on the secondary market. I think most of the stuff now gets sold on Facebook Marketplace. So there's a little bit of a financial safety net where you can get, a portion of your money back. It's not all wasted. So that's what we did today. Hopefully this gives some people, especially some beginners or someone thinking about getting back in, some ideas. And it's really straightforward. Just don't make it too complicated, and you can have a lot of fun. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.